Hello, friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories. With me is Sam West, and today is another Martial Monday. Tell us, Sam, what hole are we going down today?
The Oath of Glory hole, Bob. Is that
Oh,
what you
good.
wanted me to
Yes,
say?
that's exactly what I wanted you to say.
Oh, great. This one's from Mythic Odyssey of Theros, where it probably should have died, and Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, where it got reprinted for some reason. I'm not very high on this one. I think this is a pretty dookie domain. It's still a paladin, so you're still gonna have like a fine time with it. But like when you think of Hercules as a paladin subclass, I think of like heroism and big deeds and huge feats of strength and stuff. And this is just kind of like you're athletic as a paladin, which I don't love.
Well, Hercules is pretty athletic.
Yeah, but he also like killed a Hydra.
Yeah, it takes a certain amount of athleticism.
Let's go with that. Yeah, sure. So tenets of glory are actions over words, challenges are but tests, hone the body and discipline the soul, which are like, most of these feel very generic. I'm not gonna lie to you. These ones, actions over words is about as generic as you can get for a tenet, I think. Challenges are but tests is pretty unique, right? I like that one a lot. But the rest of them are kind of like, yeah, just
Oh,
be
who's
disciplined.
paying attention to the tenets?
I don't know, some people like the roleplay elements of them.
Yeah.
If we get into the spells, the oath spells are, I don't think, that much more exciting. So our first level options are Heroism and Guiding Bolt. And I think Guiding Bolt. Oath spells often get overlooked, but I think they're a really core element of what makes a lot of these subclasses come together is the unique added options the class normally lacks. And Guiding Bolt is a kind of like a new thing that paladins get with this, is they get a way to attack with charisma if they wanted to. So like if your objective is to play a paladin with a 16 charisma out the gate and you wanted to be much more flashy and showy, so like you go 16 charisma, 14 strength, maybe you weave Guiding Bolts a lot more into your kit in that way, but you're a half caster, so you're doing it not as much as you'd like to be, and you're not Divine Smiting, so there's a bucket of issues with that. But like if you're going for a gladiator kind of performative character, I could see that maybe being a direction. Otherwise, I think it's going to be worse than a thrown weapon most of the time. So, it's not great, but it's fine. The rest of what you get is not. So you get Heroism, which is pretty bad. First level spell for some 10 HP is not where I want to be. The fear effect is fine, but like takes an action to cast, so I don't love that.
Takes an action to cast, and like you have to know that you're going to be facing some fear effects.
Or like tons of single instances of small incremental damage.
Yeah.
I think Heroism is fine. It's not uncastable, but it's not great. Enhanceability, on the other hand, is uncastable, as is Magic Weapon. I think both these spells are trash. Like, unusable trash. We have two great videos about enhanceability. I don't know if we have a great one video about Magic Weapon, but we definitely have a good one about enhanceability. I would go watch. About how God We Wish This Was 6 different spells, or at least like 6 unique effects.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember that video. They really gutted this one.
Yeah, it feels like they just like the intern on the day was like, I don't want to do my work for today. I'm just gonna advantage. It's fine. Just give it advantage and just print it. And then I was like, come on. Magic Weapon I also think is way overcast and overrated. Bonus action for +1 to hit and damage. Sure, you overcome magic resistances. If you have to worry about overcoming magic resistances at your table, I'm sorry. It's a bad mechanic, and I'm sorry your DM is using those rules the way that they're intended to be used, because they're not particularly fun. I think they're crap rules, and they should
I don't have a problem with those rules at all.
I think they're stupid.
I mean, to be clear, we're talking about some creatures can only be hit with magic weapons, right?
With magic weapons.
That's perfectly reasonable. That's
yes,
magic game.
Magic. It's a sword, but magic is the only discernible difference between a longsword and a magic longsword, for clarity, right?
That's magic. What do you have a problem with here? That's a big discernible difference.
Okay, if I have a longsword and I'm like, look, a longsword, right? And I say now, okay, don't look, and I put it behind my back and I pull it back out and I say, now it's a magic longsword, and there's no other difference. How is it magic? What is the magic about that? Why is this magic now a thing?
Is it actually magic, or are you just
Yes, it's actually magic.
Okay, then now you can hurt a werewolf or something.
That's dumb. If you want to have silvered is way better, because at least that's like a visible difference.
No.
Yeah, it's way better. Because you can silver your weapons. You can't magic your weapons without spells.
What's the difference if you're plunging it into a creature's flesh whether or not it's silver or steel.
Because so I will say at least silver has some kind of like there's an element of mysticism to it. There's an element of, you know,
There's no
mercurial
element
alchemy and
of
stuff.
mysticism to magic.
No, it isn't doing anything presentative. There's no performance there. It is magic, and thus it hit the thing. With at least silver, it has to physically change color. There's a physical substance that you put on the weapon. You have to figure out how to silver and temper your arrows and things like that. There's like a real mini game in that. Now, listen, it's not for every table, but having that for one each enemy type, I'm here for like a Monster Hunter kind of game. For the sake of just like arbitrarily half of the monster manual is going to be resistant to things that aren't magical, is just attacks to take magic weapon or attacks to have a random other weapon. Like, it's not a mini game anymore. It's just a passive stat that changes a normal weapon into a different normal weapon that's good against everything.
Okay.
That's not inside of your interesting.
We are gonna have to agree to disagree.
Magic weapon is crap, and it looks like crap.
I don't think it's the greatest spell in the world, but I am not at all bothered by the fantasy. It's invoking.
Was King Arthur's sword the one from the stone? Was that a magic sword, or was that a regular sword that was just stuck in the rock?
I don't know, but
neither do I.
It doesn't matter.
It really doesn't.
Magic
We also have
part of this game.
the best part about the subclass is its third level spell haste. So haste on Paladin is real good. It gives you bonus AC, and if you can defend that AC, you're just going to sweep a lot of times. It's probably the best thing you get in the subclass. Protection from Energy is, I think, probably at its best as a domain spell, but as a third level spell for Paladin, still really bad, because I don't want to spend one of my third level spell slots casting Protection from Energy unless I absolutely have to. Now, I don't hate that again, it being a domain spell is kind of like, oh, okay, well, this is the one circumstance I don't want it. Sure, that's fine. But beyond that, like, you get Compulsion and Freedom of Movement at 13th level, and that is not where I want either of those effects to be. And then Commune and Flame Strike into 17th level is just too little too late, because it's 17th level, and people are casting Wishing Meteor Swarm then. So, like,
you know what? Let me stop you there. We recently talked about compulsion, and I kind of like it here.
Would you spend an action at 13th level as a paladin?
All right. Yes. Now, because the way I'm picturing this class as it's presented, gladiatorial combat, you're in formation with other gladiators. I think you could get a lot of juice out of this one.
So if you're like in a line of Spartans, they all have their spear and shield out, and you're like, find my free hand for my somatic component, compulsion, everyone scoot, and then stab. Sure, that's cute. How many parties are running around playing We Are the Spartans?
I'm in the fantasy that this subclass presents here. That's what I'm looking at.
I agree that it fits the fantasy really well.
Yes.
I don't think it's still that good on the option. I don't want to spend an action at 13th level casting and setting up a compulsion that takes my concentration when I'm trying to get hit as a paladin. If you're in a really, really, really melee focused party, maybe, but like I already wasn't super high on it as a 7th level, like getting the spell at 7th level as bards. It's like, it's fine, but it's not great. 13th level is so late. So late.
I know. I'm thinking in a particular set of circumstances that, like this gladiatorial thing, I think it could have applications that would be gruesome and a lot of fun.
Flavorfully fitting, I will give it. And that can be
freedom movement, probably not so much.
No, that's never a spell that anyone wants to cast. Same with Commune. Flame Strike is like, oh, I guess I need a damage option here. Okay, sure, Flame Strike, why not? We got Channel Divinities next. So we have Peerless Athlete and Inspiring Smite. So Peerless Athlete is, as a bonus action, you can use your Channel Divinity to augment your athleticism for 10 minutes. You advantage on athletics and acrobatics checks. You can carry, push, drag, and lift twice as much weight as normal. The distance of your long jumps and high jumps increased by 10 feet. Now, we recently talked about a feat. The feat was Athlete.
If Athlete did this, I'd be a lot more high on it.
It literally, the only thing this does over Athlete is you get advantage on your checks. I mean, I guess you can push and drag stuff better.
And then you get 10 extra feet on your jumps,
which is functionally, again, gonna feel very much the same as the 5 foot. Because you need the 10-foot.
All right, because that's true. Anyway, you know what? In that video, all I asked of Athlete was to give me advantage on my athletics checks.
Sure, and it also gave you a +1 strength mod, and this doesn't also.
Oh, that's true. That doesn't. I was taking that.
So, yeah. Listen, bonus action for advantage on athletics checks is fine. There'll be some out of combat stuff to do with this. There's not a lot of out of combat stuff to do with this. In combat, you don't want to be grappling that much. Grappling just isn't that good. And if you want to play the grappler character, hypothetically, you could do it here. I don't think this is where it's at its best, because Barbarian can just rage and get that for free every time they rage. So if you wanted to do the grappler thing, you probably want to do that on Barbarian, which makes this kind of like what is this doing? Not much. But it's fine. But the tenants, sure, you are a peerless athlete. Absolutely. I told you, this is the Gym Bro Paladin. And if you want to play the Gym Bro Paladin, this is definitely how you do it. I think it's not that good, but it's a very fun fantasy to be like, the swole man with the protein powder and everything. Oh yeah, you can absolutely live that fantasy here. The thing you get is Inspiring Smite, so immediately after you deal damage to a creature with your Divine Smite feature, you can use your Channel Divinity as a bonus action to distribute temp HP to creatures of your choice within 30 feet of you, which can include you. The total number is 2d8 plus your level, divided among creatures chosen as you'd like. So you hit something, you Divine Smite it, and then you go, okay, everybody. I can do this once per short rest. I'm going to give you 2d8 plus it. When you get this 3 temporary hit points spread out to some people. Most of the time, you're just jamming all those hit points on you.
Here's how I'm picturing this.
Where that goes, right? This is just a big burst temp HP once per short rest. Sure, that's not great. It's a bunch of free temp HP. I'd probably use that more often than Peerless Athlete. Sometimes you use it to, I split it up over the other 2 characters that are getting beaten, and I got a huge AC and giant pool of hit points, so I'll be okay. So, the Warlock that's getting their head beaten in and the Monk's getting their head beaten in, there you go.
Here's how I'm picturing this. He's got his Gladiator short sword.
Yeah.
Plunges it into the heart of his opponent. Rips it out. Blood spurts all over 3 of his friends. And that's the temp HP.
Sure. That's a really metal fantasy for what is 5 temporary hit points. Yeah, less than 5 temporary hit points in some cases. If you're dividing among 3 people, yeah, that's not a lot. I don't know. It's fine. It's definitely gonna be better if you stack it on 1 person. If you really love the fantasy of it, I get that fantasy is there, right? Big, inspiring. Whatcha? Everyone goes, whoa. But yeah, it's a bunch of temp HP. A bunch of temp HP is a bonus action. Why not? I don't hate it. It's not the end of the world. We have Aura of Alacrity. So at 7th level, you emanate an aura that fills you and your companions with supernatural speed, allowing you to race across a battlefield in formation. Your walking speed increases by 10 feet. In addition, if you aren't incapacitating, the walking speed of any ally who starts within 5 feet of you increases by 10 feet until the end of that turn. When you reach 18th level in this class, the range increases to 10 feet. So...
Wait, it increases to 10 feet or increases by 10 feet?
To 10 feet. If they had to start within 5 feet of you for this to do anything.
Oh, all right. Okay. I misread that. I thought it was the amount of the increase of the walking speed.
No, you just always get plus 10.
Right.
Now...
That's not a very amazing improvement.
No, it's not. It's also not a very amazing feature just in practice. Because initiative really screws with these kinds of things, because if you move before they do, they don't have the speed to keep up. So you have to have them go before you, and then they can use your speed boost, and then you engage them, but you're the paladin, so you would want to get there first to start taking the hits if the monsters go in between you, and you're left in this weird position where it's I don't know how to best use this move speed, if it ever matters, effectively. Because of initiative. And I'm not even convinced it's going to be that useful most of the time. Now, plus 10 speed is fine, but it's normally stable alongside extra attack on barbarians and monks and stuff, right? It's kind of just a given thing to make the faster classes have a little bit better time navigating around doing the fast character stuff. As an aura for what paladins are so dedicated to, I don't know. I'm not impressed.
It says no, but it says you're in formation. Does that mean you have to be all traveling together, or can they just go wherever they want?
So yeah, if we ignore all of the fluff text, which is up until the second sentence, it's your walking speed increases by 10 feet. In addition, if you aren't incapacitated, the walking speed of any ally who starts their turn within 5 feet of you increases by 10 feet until the end of turn, their speed.
Okay, well, it's better than what it could have been, but still not great.
Yeah, you go 10 feet faster if you start your turn literally next to the paladin.
Yeah.
Which, the other auras are bigger than this, too. It's 10 to 30. I don't know why this one's smaller. Was it?
It grows to 10 feet when you reach 18th level. So
sure does. That's quite the improvement.
I was thinking about multi-classing, but now I'm not so sure.
So I want to know what playtests were like. Yeah, we took this with a regular paladin range, and it was just too powerful. It was oppressive. They were going so fast. Really? That happened? Why are these numbers the ones? Sure, whatever. I don't think that's a very good feature. We got Glorious Defense next. So when you reach 15th level, you can just turn defense into a sudden strike. When you or another creature you can see within 10 feet of you is hit by an attack roll, you can use your reaction to grant a bonus to that target's AC against the attack, potentially causing it to miss. The bonus equals your charisma modifier. If the attack misses, you can make 1 attack against the attacker as part of the reaction, provided the attacker is within your weapon's reach.
That was a lot of words. Wait a second.
It was.
I didn't understand all that.
If something attacks a buddy,
okay,
or you,
okay,
you can impose as a reaction a bonus to the AC you can improve the attacked creature's AC by your charisma modifier. So you're attacking me, I get myself my bonus into charisma modifier. Now, if you miss, I can then attack you.
Oh, it's like a shield spell with a little bonus.
Yeah, you use it charisma mod number of times per long rest. Maybe this is the best feature that Oath of Glory
Yeah,
gets.
I think that's all right.
Yeah. It's going to be like, you're going to almost always want to use this on yourself and use it to smite more. And like 3 to 4 more uses of this is pretty good. Paladins want a high charisma for their aura that gives save bonuses. So yeah, I could see probably getting 3 to 4 uses out of this at most. I don't think so. Still, Paladins want to max their strength and other things and want to take feats and stuff, so it's not easy to get a high charisma, but sure.
All right, wait, why were you saying you want to use this mostly on yourself?
Because your goal as a Paladin is to get hit, right? Is I have a big shield and AC of 22. I want things to attack me.
Yeah, but if they happen to hit your friend instead,
yeah, why not?
There's no downside to it.
The only comparable downside would be they might have a lower AC and thus be more likely to still be hit.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right.
But that's middling. It's still going to be good against defending your allies. But again, for the most part, like, oftentimes you're trying to direct fire at you, and you're just whenever you're able to do so, you're going to want to use this, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Finally, we've got Living Legend. So at 20th level, you can empower yourself with the legends, whether true or exaggerated, of your great deeds. As a bonus action, you gain the following benefits for a minute.
You can lie.
You are blessed with an otherworldly presence, giving you advantage on all charisma checks. So yes. Once on each of your turns, when you make a weapon attack and miss, you can cause the attack to hit. Yeah, okay. If you fail a saving throw, you can use your reaction to re-roll it, and you must use the new roll. Once you use feature can again until you finish a long rest, or you spend a 5th level slot, so you can get like 3 uses of this.
That's the second line's interesting because I expected to finish like the third one, but no, you don't. You don't make a new roll. You just say, "Screw that! I hit you."
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. I think.
I'm unimpressed. It's a bonus action to set up, which isn't like.
That's not the end of the world.
But yeah, it's not the end of the world. It is. Advantage on all charisma checks is kind of moot. I don't really care about that.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
That doesn't make much difference. Like, I'm not using this out of combat for advantage on charisma check. I don't give a crap. If I fail a saving throw, rerolling, it's pretty good. That's like, okay, I'm good against the upper tier threats. At the middle text, I can make sure 1 auto hits every round. It's all fine. Now, is it living up to the whole hype of the fantasy of becoming an archangel, becoming a demigod, becoming an avatar of Hunt? Like, I don't think so. So like I think this one just is really missing some oomph to me, some like really highlighting special exciting look. I think Living Legend just looks and plays pretty bland. It's 2 decent features that are stapled onto a bonus action that you can use for a minute at 20th level. Is this a 20th level feature? I don't love it.
All right, it might not be the flashiest thing in the world, but it's a hell of a lot better than some other capstone features we've covered.
Yeah, there's some really trash abilities in this game. I don't know. So like with even something like Vengeance, you become Avenging Angel, which gives you a 60-foot fly speed, a 30-foot aura of death that like murders things, right, and frightens them, and it gives you advantage on all your attack rolls. Like that seems a lot cooler, and it lasts an hour. Like that seems a lot better to me. I don't know.
I mean,
Ancients has a way cooler one.
This is good for the big fight. Let me. How many attacks are Paladins making at this point? 2. All right, so
3 with haste. That's an important element that we didn't touch on. You are a character with haste.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have a giant AC and a way to give yourself even more AC. So like hypothetically, you're
so this just, I mean, like if you're averaging 2 hits per turn, this could round that up to 3. That's it's not nothing.
Not nothing for sure. It's again, and guaranteeing auto hits is useful, right? To be able to say, I don't care what the things AC is, I will hit it. That's useful. You being able to, I think this is worth a 5th level spell slot. Absolutely, I would spend 5th level spell slots on that. I think it's actually a pretty heavy meat of this feature is being able to use it multiple times. Because like where, like I said, Oath of Vengeance gets one that lasts an hour. This gives you multiple minute-long durations that you can pop up as bonus actions. And you will probably want to spend all your 5th level because you can't spend 5th level slots anyway. You will probably want to use your 5th level slots as extra versions of this. I think this is better than most 5th level spells. I just like.
Oh crap!
It doesn't.
I totally missed the 5th level slot thing.
That's very relevant.
Oh yeah, that's even better.
Yeah, it is.
I'll be using all my 5th level slots on this.
Yes. Here's my So with Living Legend being me kind of like meh, it's fine. It's a serviceable 20 level feature that I'm not excited about, but like it'll do the job whenever it absolutely has to. I think getting to this point, I would really struggle with. I don't think Inspiring Smite, Peerless Athlete, or Aura of Alacrity are getting me interested in playing this that much. I don't think
No.
Haste on its own is getting me interested in playing this that much, and I don't think I want any of the other spells on this list. So then I'm like, okay,
but wait, I have Living Legend or Commune.
like that's really funny. That is really funny. If I'm starting a game at 15th level and I know I will have Glorious Defense already, I probably am willing to put together a build where it's like, yeah, I'm just going to stack myself to have a giant amount of AC and 4 attacks around using my haste on myself plus my reaction attack guaranteed from this thing, guaranteed from Glorious Defense. If I'm not starting there, like, if you're going to play a Paladin from 120, are you willing to commit to a lot of levels of...
Probably not. Yeah, I think you made a good call there. If you're starting at 15th level, this could be a lot of fun. But that's I don't know how many, like I probably count them on one hand, the amount of characters I played that made it close to 15th level. Like the two best features, or the two only really fun features, I'm probably never going to get to use if I'm starting at level 1. That's a bummer. But
yeah. And like, Fearless Athlete is not that great. Inspiring Smite is not that great. Or Alacrity, I think, is actively quite bad. Like, yeah. If you really like Haste and don't mind waiting until 9th level to get it, sure. Yeah, I don't think it goes the glories for me. I don't think it goes the glories for many people. It's still not unusable. Like, while I'm saying the features are meh, we've talked about features that are unusable. We've talked about many features in subclass levels where you get nothing. Even Aura of Alacrity, which I'm pretty down on, you're faster, and that on a melee-based character isn't nothing, so I guess it gets a solid C. The upper tier stuff is really great, which is normally inverted. Normally the upper tier stuff is really bad, and the lower tier stuff is pretty fun.
yeah. C was what I was thinking as well. I'm not going to give it the D's I gave the past couple of subclasses, because these two what do you call them?
Capstones, 15, 7, 20th level features.
Right, 2 features. That's the word I was looking for. These 2 features at the end really are really cool if you make it that long to play them. But yeah, because you're probably never going to make that long, then yeah, it's not getting an A or a B.
It still just feels like everything about this just screams like, I am a athletic paladin. But like, it's like, oh, I'm very accurate. I'm not like divinely chosen or anything like that. It's like, oh, riposte is what Glorious Defense feels like to me, but I don't know. The names all inspire legends. I just don't feel like the mechanics translate. That's just a personal beef, though.
Yeah. All right. Well, let us know what you guys think in the comments. What do you think of Oath of Glory? Thank you, Sam, and thank you, everyone, for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, informative, or entertaining, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button below. You needn't smash it, a gentle tap will suffice. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel. And make sure you check out the links in the description, where you'll find my Caverns and Creatures series of comedy fantasy novels, Sam's full review of the spell, and other fun things.